If this shows anything, it is two things. Very cute and very depressing. Two of my favorite genres. Hey guys, this is Honey Samurai, and today I'm going to be talking about a show that really encompasses how I feel when I talk about cartoons. Rilakkuma and Kaoru. If this shows anything, it is two things. Very cute and very depressing. Two of my favorite genres. If you're new here, I'd like to quickly mention that I make cartoon reviews, share fashion ideas, and pretty much find any excuse to geek about Japanese lifestyle and culture. So if that sounds like you, smash that subscribe button. Yeah, smash it. Okay. Rilakkuma and Kaoru centers around a young Japanese woman named Kaoru who lives with the iconic characters Rilakkuma, Korilakkuma, and Kiroi Tori. The series opens with a sense of nostalgia and romanticism, similar to what you might find in a Miyazaki film. Cherry blossoms color each frame, a man sweeps the neighborhood, Rilakkuma naps in the sun rays, shining into the dark vintage apartment. The music is sweet and cheerful, though in a melancholic sort of way. Each episode features the start of a new season, beginning with spring, the symbol of new beginnings in Japan. Kaoru is constantly faced with this feeling of being left behind as time moves relentlessly forward. She's the last to remain single among her group of friends from college. She has made no significant professional achievements, and she has no one to depend on in her times of loneliness. Well, except for Rilakkuma, of course, which she time and again takes for granted. I personally really appreciate these flaws in character because these are the traits that make her more real. This isn't a story about how they make her into a better person or how they come together to rise above these social expectations. No, this is a story about a woman navigating this very confusing world and the very somber realities that come with that pressure. The instant connection that we feel towards Rilakkuma coming to life arises from the way that he does very human-like things, such as brushing his fur coat in the morning the way that we would sometimes struggle to do our own hair in the morning, or the way that he struggles to zip up his own fur coat the way that we struggle with putting up on our own clothes sometimes. And seeing Kaoru help him out is like a nod to the way that we take care of our stuffed animals, washing them, fluffing them out, propping them up when they fall, and honestly, how cute is that? And there's a child neighbor named Tokyo who comes to represent the process of one's childhood subtly being stripped away, which I'm not going to go too far into for the sake of spoilers, but it comes to illustrate how we change and how we search for connection as that inevitably happens. Looking at Kaoru's face, we see a sort of flatness to it, like a character that we might see in an antidepressant commercial. The first thing that she says on screen, a note that spring is here, though quickly followed by an update about her job, which instantly sets the tone for the entire series, in stark contrast to the soft, childlike themes. Kaoru is often ungrateful and self-pitying. I've seen this close up with people in my own life. The way that Kaoru takes out her inner frustrations or neglects the bears is a lot like the way we sometimes see parents take out their own inner frustrations and self-dissatisfaction on their own kids. I've experienced versions of this myself, having recently graduated from college to see my friends go on to have their first perfect dream jobs and move on into long-term relationships while I'm still very single and don't know what I'm doing. Kaoru time and again shows an eager willingness to trade away what she has for what society advertises as happiness, which often places a higher value on romantic relationships over any other. I can personally relate to this. The pressure is so high to get into a relationship, and once you get into one, it's so easy, even expected, for you to forget about your platonic relationships, as if you've passed this life level and everyone's applauding you as you move on into relationship utopia. I also really appreciate how the series explores the relentless passage of time and the inevitability of change. For instance, how time kind of piles up on the things we own, like when Kaoru reflects on a pair of shoes that she's had for almost a decade somehow. And I especially enjoy how they explore the crippling anxiety of making decisions as we get older. Though I'm technically only 23, making decisions compared to when I was younger has gone to be so much scarier. Every decision has this life-changing weight to it, and it becomes this obsession to make all of the right choices, to the point of becoming more and more tempted to just take a more passive role, unconsciously not choosing at all. Rilakkuma's needs are simple, Kaoru's crippling. And then we have a coworker who comes to represent the epitome of following all of these social expectations. She explains these norms as if they're common sense. Of course, your newlywed friend won't actually help to matchmake you, even though she said she would. Of course, owning a cat marks the end of a woman's love life. Of course, a woman should quit her job once she finds a husband. To the point it makes you realize or wonder, well, how did all of these expectations become common sense? We see how navigating these social dynamics begin to manifest as a mental struggle for Kaoru, such as feelings of worthlessness and not fitting into the mold, which are very taboo topics to discuss, especially in Japan. Interwoven with these challenges, we see themes of wabi-sabi, the discovery of beauty in imperfection. We see the acceptance of the impermanence of life, the natural progression of growth and decay as the seasons change within each episode. Which leads me to cinematography. As I mentioned before, we see Miyazaki-esque elements in the way that they frame even the most mundane shots. Scenes are heavily guided by changing seasons, which leads us to shots with dark typhoons, cherry blossoms, summer heat waves, rainbows after the rain, gloves melting with snow. And not just with seasons either, it also see that with the characters as well. Walking back to the store in joggers, brewing tea, chopping vegetables, napping in the afternoon, burning pancakes, doing laundry, all the mundane stuff that we can relate to, taking the essence of life and shining a bright, beautiful light on it. Doing this visually juxtaposes the sweet, laid-back imagery with Kaoru's negative, worrisome thoughts, which I think is very... And let's not forget that this whole series is done in stop motion. I mean, imagine all of the time and care that went into that. The detail, the materials used, everything so carefully crafted. Some have said that the humans don't look visually appealing, but I think that's the very thing that adds charm to it, considering the topic of the show. I mean, for instance, with the flatness of Kaoru's face, I think it's really interesting how that contrasts with the beauty of everything that surrounds her. To conclude, I'm honestly very surprised that the series didn't make that much noise. There's not that many reviews on YouTube, not very many people talk about it, Even friends of mine that are really into Rilakkuma haven't seen the show yet, or maybe haven't heard of it. Hopefully yet. Overall, this is a beautiful show with a lot of depth, and it has left a long-lasting impression on me. So I give this show a Honey Samurai rating of 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this one. And as always, love you guys, and till next time.